how are you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are going to be doing top 5 drivers in 2020 for around £50. Oh, and before we carry on, everything throughout this video is 100% my opinion, so therefore everything that I state throughout is 100% correct. Oh yeah, and to Paul that commented kindly yesterday, "Si, time for a haircut, bud. I'm in lockdown. Where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to get it cut? I'm definitely not letting the wife touch it, but it is getting out of hand." That being said, I think I'm the only golf YouTuber that isn't receding. Okay, that's enough joking, that's enough bants for one golf YouTube video. We don't want this to be too funny.
Great drive.
Yeah, I know.
Like a pro.
That's funny. I'm actually thinking about turning pro.
Yeah, right.
I'm hitting it so long and straight with this G10.
Really?
Yeah, get my card, play all the majors.
What about your job? 401k, mortgage, college?
Exactly. One good year and that's all taken care of.
Woo champ.
Right, Ping G10 driver is my first choice. Now all these drivers are going to be around £50, and to be honest, I want to try and keep this concise and entertaining as possible, so we're going to rattle through these. £50, they all, I'm going to put sold and completed because I want you to let you guys see what these are actually selling for. Ping G10, Lee Westwood had it in the bag for years. He probably still has it in the bag. Arguably one of the best ball strikers on tour, especially with irons, but obviously we're doing drivers. Ping G10 was a turning point for Ping. I really don't think there was any improvement from the Ping G15, the Ping G20, Ping G25, Ping G30. I think there's difference in terms of lightness, forgiveness, sound, all that. But Ping G10, quality driver, forgiving. I would probably recommend to a large portion of you, and a lot of you messaged me, "Simon, I've got a package set, was that a mistake?" No, but you could get this driver to tailor it more towards upgrading from your package set. So all of a sudden you might swing it too fast for your package set, so let's get an X-Stiff 9 degree Ping G10 driver. That's going to be world class. It looks good. It's going to last you forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just never going to break on you. Ping makes such good quality clubs, so that's why they hold the price, to be honest, and that's why I do feel this should be in my top 5 £50 drivers that you can get in 2020. Okay, up next is a driver that I had in the bag when I was actually playing half decent golf, and some of you might be going, "Simon, when was that?" I don't blame you, but better golf than I play now anyway. Titliest 913 driver. To be honest, the reason I'm putting this in there is because I feel like it was better than the 910 in terms of looks, especially. Not necessarily in terms of performance. I think it was slightly more forgiving than the 910. Definitely didn't produce anything more in terms of ball speed, and let's be honest, none of these drivers are that far off in terms of ball speed to what there are nowadays. You've got to remember, guys, a lot of you lose 20% of your ball speed by hitting the toe in the heel all the time. So unless you hit it out the middle 110% of the time, okay, you might lose a bit of ball speed from these drivers. Let's get it to completed and sold. Now, again, the reason I chose this driver, A, because it's around the £50 mark. If you're a Titliest person, you like the look of a traditional driver, black, silver, traditional head cover, this is the one to go for. Adjustable, and even though it was better than the 910, I don't think they did really much with the 915 and 917, to be perfectly honest. Like, the shafts didn't really change, the head design didn't change, and that's why the 915 and 917 drivers that came from Titliest were kind of 2-0 or 4-0 years, and that's why they brought out the TS1 and TS2, rebrand, remarketed, and unfortunately that is what golf is nowadays. But overall, I think the 913 looks great. You can see them selling here for like £47. Is that a driver and a 3-wood for 47 quid? You're having a laugh. Mate, he's got an absolute deal there. That's exceptional, that is. Whoever you are, it must be roofed to... They're not actually that bad either. That's a quality deal. Well, apparently you can get a 3-wood thrown in if you're lucky. But yeah, overall, I think Titliest for its aesthetics, adjustability, the shafts that you can get in as well, obviously a lot more up to date than the Ping G10 that I just showed you a minute ago, but overall classic driver. I had it in the bag for a very long time. I've still got it here, and I highly recommend obviously getting in 2020. Okay, so now you might be saying, "Simon, that's all well and good, but I'm Mr. Billy Big Balls. I hit it 350 yards all the time. I can't be dealing with these high launching, forgiving fairway finders. I want that one ball that goes astonishingly long and then I hit 20 OBs over 36 holes. And if that person is you and you do want a high launching, low spinning machine, I have to say Taylormade do it best. They're not forgiving. There's no question about that. Taylormade, I don't know why I just typed in Taylormade, it's suspecting it to get the year that I want. Taylormade R9 driver, I think, goes down in terms of deep face, high launching, low spin for £50, as good as you can get. Now, Callaway can definitely compete, especially over the last 5 years or so, but back in the day, they were renowned for making unforgiving drivers that just went stupidly long. And for tour players, that's great because obviously their club face and club path numbers were just so good. Doesn't really matter if they had a frying pan at the end of their stick because the ball was going to hit the fairway. But for the average golfer, these weren't the most forgiving clubs. But that doesn't matter because the club fitter fit you into it and go, look, Steve, that just went another 15 yards further over the last 120 balls you just hit with that one drive. And Steve would go, yeah, I felt that one. So if you want a long ball machine, the R9 is the driver to go for. I absolutely crushed this driver when I hit it back in the day. Get a nice X-Flex, get a nice low loft in the driver head. Don't get this driver if you struggle to get the ball in the air. If you struggle to get the ball in the air, do not buy this driver. But for £50, it looks great. It sounds really good as well, I have to say. And to be honest, it's going to keep up with anything out there in terms of ball speed. I even tested the R7 Super Quad, which again is another great driver if you just want the long ball. And ball speeds were negligible between that and everything that's come out this year. So that is why I recommend the Taylormade R9 in 2020 if you just want to leather it. Okay, up next, I'm probably going to perform some kind of sacrilege as I'm going to mention Callaway and not the word, or two words, Big Bertha.
Have you ever felt better than you do right now?
Sure. Last Sunday, it was on the 9th hole, it's par 4. I took out my great Big Bertha and I teed it up. I let loose. And mind you, I'm being honest here, I'm not even sure I got all of it. But damn if it didn't go 300 straight down the fairway.
And a lot of you are going, Simon, that is what Callaway have been known for the existence of the company. Big Bertha irons, Big Bertha woods, Big Bertha everything. However, I've already named my long ball machine that's unforgiving and probably isn't suited for the majority of your average golfers. Therefore, what's the point in mentioning another one? Feel free to curse at me in the comment section, but for me personally, for £50, if you were to go down the Callaway route, I think XR is the best possible choice you could have if you're going to go down Callaway. And I've thought of all brands, by the way. I haven't gone down mainstream. I've thought of Yonex, I thought of Strixon, I thought of Mizuno, I thought of all the other companies. And don't get me wrong, I've got a very unnamely brand coming up in a second, which is just out of the world good and pretty much what all of you should be buying. But obviously I need 10 minutes worth of content. So mainstream wise, when it comes to Callaway, let's go under £60. I think the XR is just a great shout. Like £35, no adjustable weighting, therefore it's forgiving, high launching, and the XR has some seriously good shafts in it as well, which is why I'm going to rate it. I'm going to rate it because the face is great, forgiving, all-round head, and the shafts that you can get in this driver, I mean, that's £35. I know you had to go and collect it from whoever that person is in Crawley, but I can tell you now, for £50, if you want to go down the Callaway route, the XR, in my opinion, for £50 is the best driver you can get in 2020, and there's tons of them out there. It's a very popular driver. XR Speed, that literally just come out 2 years ago. If you are 60 years of age and above, and you've just started the game of golf and you need some launch, or even that, you just need some launch in general, that's a ridiculously good buy. XR Speed there. The only thing I would say with the XR Speed, or the XR everything, they just didn't sound great. They just didn't sound great. The XR original and that one, okay-ish. XR Speed just didn't sound great, especially when you put it against the Epic. But the Epic, I have to say, is probably one of the best drivers to have come out over the last 10 years, regardless of budget. But anyway, before I drag on, Callaway XR is my fourth choice. Let's get into my last choice that you should be choosing in 2020. Okay, my last and final choice. This is ridiculous. And by the way, the years have spread over. I've chosen drivers from 2008 all the way up to 2019. I typed in this morning to see what you can get these second-hand for, and it's ridiculous. Benross, I've done this before in a video, most underrated driver manufacturer there is. This is obviously a UK company. I think Exotic is similar to what is in America or in other countries, but just have a look. Let's go under £48, for example, and let's have a look what's completed recently on this driver. Because if you want up to date, and by the way, the drivers that Benross have in their drivers, like in 2019, 2018 and everything else, are exactly the same shafts of what in every other driver that's costing you £400. So, for example, the Evolution R came out 3 years ago. It's got an unbelievable selection of drivers, you can get into it. The Delta came out this year, so that's just been bid on £54. You can go to American Golf. You can't go to American Golf, but you could go to American Golf when it opens again, and that drive is going to cost you 240 odd pounds. Unbelievable deals to be had with Benross. That's why it's my final choice in my under £50 bargain, because up-to-date drivers, up-to-date shafts, great sound, great feel. They don't spend a lot of money on marketing, therefore they can afford to bring the price down, and I'm always going to shout these boys out. But if you want a great driver for £50 in 2020, that's where you gotta go. So guys, thank you ever so much for watching this video. My top 5 drivers, £50 in 2020. If you wouldn't mind leaving this video a like and subscribing if you're new, that would be great. Catch you guys later.